next Monday, and the Gen AI steering the July 25th. I asked the Alice to schedule that meeting, and I realized the attendees are all VPs and Scott Silver. So the Gen AI steering is a very high level. We thought it's a Nikhil or whatever, but no, it's a VP level review. So we take that seriously. And then that makes a stronger reason to make the AMCO review not a pre-steering review as well to approve our proposal. So I'm thinking about for the next 3 meetings, we'll focus on the steering deck and think about how do we present our story. The end goal is to presenting the steering.
So with that steering review and MCO review, the steering review is even higher level than MCO.
All VPs and Scott.
Okay.
So, and also I'm providing a few other updates. So data evaluation, we'll do another round to get a sense about whether we can do the creator summary. Creator feedback, I'm trying to push. I'll try to push to have the interview before the steering review. That's the quickest I can push. To see what can get some feedback. And Mark, we have something to polish. Ideally, we need to have the ready marks. It's still conceptual marks before the steering AMCO review next month.
Based on also from the UX perspective, I yesterday she was concerned about the summary solving any of the user needs. I think we kind of voice the same concern. It also provides the UX perspective. It's really like I think we haven't explained that anyway.
Sure, yeah, I can work with Matt as well to back it up with some actual data as well. So.
From your side of perspective, you can consider users. We have static pieces that watch to 100%, and we have been thinking. Right, I think your level summary would be a really good piece for that. So as a really good 1%.
The fear of doing viewers the low quality bar is other leads are concerned about.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I think the view and private. So
well,
I think they mentioned that
there is a good quality, but assumption is the same model, which I think that assumption is fundamentally correct. It has to be different kinds of summary. Two different models, right? So it's not the same model. Unless like that's what we want to do, but I think what we're seeing right now is like the current summary provides creator actions a lot, which is fine for users. It might be desirable for creators.
Why is this? One question I had is the commons team is going after spreads, approach. That's viewer facing as well. So they have a higher accuracy versus it's a question I have then.
To be clear, it's the same model, but different prompt. We're not doing our own model. We're not trying to adopt a model. The model is going to be identical. And part.
Simon, I don't think that's. It's like it's one of the to few short times. Not to be a lot of work to create the model, but we need to be good from.
So yeah, like if we think like the viewer procession and the then yes, we have two different quality problems, and it would be even base model could be the same, but like how to extract information from the base model and how to manipulate that, like to your point, Simon, like how to construct a prompt, it would be different. And like I was just talking to here that quality work is linear, it's not like scalable, but like infrastructure, like we build one thing.
Can I suggest we before the debate? That's the other topic.
Yeah.
I told you a different feedback on the meeting. Dr. Nikhil, who is part of the steering committee before July 25th, to at least get like early feedback to see whether there are any obvious things that we didn't do well. Like maybe Nikhil is the good person to talk through, right?
Is Nikhil even invited? We should invite Nikhil to that meeting, I think.
The review.
That's their, yeah, both.
The VP level review. I think Nikhil may be there, even
Yeah,
if
he's not invited now. We should invite him.
Okay, at least we should pre-review with a few.
Yeah,
steering-
I definitely feel we need to invite Nikhil because also like quality is one of the biggest concerns, and him and JB, they can probably like describe how we're addressing them by using their solution.
Yeah, I think like I don't know how much detail we'll get into those review, but I think like if we need to cover infrastructure part, then we need to do some due diligence about like if other teams are doing more real-time inference, which is the significant difference between us and Commons.
So yeah, let's discuss what pre-review we need and also what content we want to put into this deck. So I'm currently copying from other, they share the deck in the agenda list. So I copying from like YouTube search and a few other things to see what they talk about. So generally we have some overview, motivation, vision, strategy, and then show a list of different feature ideas and then show a roadmap as my current proposal.
So like at what point we dive into the commitments we could make for the first wave? I think like that review will basically let us say like, are we part of the first wave announcement or not, right? Or is that already passed? I don't know.
No, in order to be part of the announcement, we need to pass the steering.
We need to pass the steering, right? Then like which point we will start to dive into say like, here are the things we believe we can deliver and how that things look like. That is probably like, I don't know, I just want to mention that because like from these 3 bullet points, it's a little bit harder to see that. But like, in fact, I will leave that to you to
Yeah,
figure out.
roadmap
to
should be
dive.
something, right? We should showcase roadmap, should give people the confidence that we can catch the timeline.
And I guess like maybe highlight this year independently from like a longer term roadmap, maybe separate this.
Yeah, roadmap can be more detailed, and also I'm asking, do we want to add more tech kind of the roadmap up here as well?
Yeah, I think we probably should. Like, we need to confidence we can deliver. Like, if we need real-time inference, then we need to confident we can deliver by then. Right? Like, that needs to be highlighted.
Yeah. Okay. Do you think do you want to intermix it with feature ideas, or do you want to maybe have like a deep dive? This is a your summary timeline. They're like a few engineering big rocks like serving and quality prods and stuff like that.
So I'm very bad at making thoughts and slides. So I'm just mentioning that it's if that's the purpose to be part of that, then maybe like some highlight and certain kind of like guarantee we know what we are doing, kind of confidence should be presented there. But I don't know like how to lead to that story though.
Yeah, I guess maybe I'll break it down for specifically for viewer because I
Maybe.
think like we have like set of capabilities, but a lot of them are just like needed for other features.
Yeah.
So just focus on specifically the viewer side and what we need to.
Yeah, like maybe like a set of features and the infrastructure boxes at the end state. But then we say like for the first phrase, we just need this feature and that feature needs like these few boxes of the infrastructure. And eval process, things like that.
Can we start adding one architecture diagram somewhere at the end, maybe appendix, then we could iterate on that?
Yeah, I think we should. That's why
I'm also thinking about like maybe I'm talking the story about this page is like we are starting with safer options and like the invest in the more high risk, high return options later. Maybe this one can save on the high level feature roadmap. But we have another agenda items on the roadmap after the features. People get an idea of the features. We can extend this roadmap to be more details. Maybe I can do something like 2023 is like half of the kind of the table, and then we can add more details about technical roadmap there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there is a technical capability, the roadmap on the technical side, for sure, and we could figure out how to add that in.
Yeah, could you please edit this one directly? Ideally, we review with the leads tomorrow.
Yeah, I can tell you. And
Yeah,
then
one thing I
can
want-
you work on a specific, like a diagram that we can also have a look at?
Jason?
Yeah, one thing I want to point out is I'm working with the YTF team because Scott is going to be doing YTF next week and wants to show some of this work. One of the things that it seems like he's very interested on is the moderation stuff, and so it would be good to maybe have some of that in there because he seems very hell bent on some of that work. So maybe talk about it that maybe we might do it in 2024 or something, but. I'm sure he will ask.
How much of the moderation is owned by us? I know it's the moderation I know there's one to use LLM to do auto rater instead of human rater.
Yeah, we
And
can mention all of the stuff that's going on, but it's already going on. I think the moderation stuff that Jason is referring to are the smart civility reminders when we rewrite things that are potentially
Okay.
low quality. And also another one that we discussed is the blocked topics.
Okay.
So I think these are the two things that maybe we want to
Raw
consider.
topics. Okay, maybe we
Yeah,
can make the raw topics and more significant ones that comments okay for us to mention the civilization reminder?
I think civility reminder is what I heard brought up a few times. I think block topics is it we came up with and we haven't really socialized it. Might be also going some direction.
I only bring this up just because they're not really interested in showcasing the summary stuff. They really want to show like trust and safety work. It seems like Scott is really interested in that. So
Jason, that works for me for the live demo because since the hackathon, we've at the improved level for live chat, we've made a separation between even our prod and staging. So I can't run my prototype against actual prod data, so it doesn't, the summary isn't as compelling because I can only run it basically against like test streams or test data that we can set up.
okay, yeah, I'll make sure that they know that as well. So
Okay, we can add this one as well. So just to check the content motivation, I'm highlighting the interactive is important and also LLM is related to interactivity. I'm trying to tell the story. There's a few areas we can leverage the LLM, summarize this track topic, facilitate interaction and chatbot. And then the strategy is to
Yeah, to the point that like that slides should also have like some sort of like rewriting and moderation kind of things mentioned there. Just be consistent.
I guess we could also consider, things about like ratings, things about new content, classification models for videos. I think those are like way outside of like even like this existing scope. I don't know how far we want to expand this.
Well, I mean, like vision is like something by definition is wide, right?
So maybe we can also highlight some of the other areas, like even like video and filters is something we're also thinking about.
And text, video, animation.
And also like a content classification, like influencer classifier, we can build with this, right? Which is like outside of chat. And I think I also want to expand technical vision to include those things because there's like a lot more to consider there.
Okay. And also have principles here. Thanks, Ilya, for putting together the principles. We can also mention them. Right. Any more feedback on this deck content? And then we have the ideas, chat summary, all those stuff. Well, which idea we talk about? Value proposition, success, and risk. Simon?
Do we need to do more technical scoping for the moderation, like for the purpose of a review? Even though it's not a feature we want to build, but since Scott is going to ask.
we can have it in our back pocket if we want.
Is this also just like a diagram? Is good enough? Like I don't know like how far we want to scope and just like how much work it is, or
Yeah,
it's pretty straightforward. Quality work is the same as other quality work, right?
Meaning that is it kind of the same infrastructure, completely different infrastructure? It sounded like slightly different because this is at the input level, not at the kind of a rendering, kind of viewer facing or creator facing chat level. And it sounded like at the very high level, box level, just to understand the overall infrastructure, technical, kind of the high level architecture.
We probably need all the boxes we currently have, but all the boxes will be slightly different from what model we use, the expected SLO, how we do this quality evaluation. So all the boxes will be there, but they'll all be different.
Yeah, we also need to scope actual civility reminders feature, like comments has it and we don't.
Right.
Hmm.
But at least we can tell about all these things that
Yeah.
this is why it's not a good MVP. This is why.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea.
Right. Otherwise, he's gonna be like, why not do that? It's like, that's not possible.
Yeah, I mean, comments can do it very quickly, and even they decide to do it.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah, good idea. Tim, can you take this here?
Sure. Sure. I can put down those boxes there. It'll be great if we can sparkle more interest in that area. So if we have technical gaps, those higher level steering committee probably can help us get there faster.
Yeah, like one thing I'm wondering also is that we kind of like running into a lot of question about like how to serve the model, what model to use. That's kind of a sentence that like YouTube level guideline currently is not yet like mature to wider scale. I'm wondering that if some of those lessons learned, do you want to mention in the steering committee, kind of as like a feedback or like
we definitely
next
should,
step?
because the one of the goal, at least from my side, is to get some attention from a higher level that we have these problems. We need help to push forward to land in the dreamland. So this will be hopefully a good opportunity. For us.
I don't know if that's
Yeah.
a good forum, but like that's probably like one of things like we can. I think like Simon had a good suggestion about like asking Nikhil to do pre-review.
Mhm.
Like then he can help us to decide that is that's a topic we want to bring up or not.
Yeah, feel free to add some slides here. We can even put that in appendix if the leads ask about which model we are going to use. All right, want to save some time? Like here, you have a new kind of the new batch of reservation, right?
Yes, it's a better news. Every day it turns a little better. Let me wrote down. Do you want me to? Okay, yeah, you'll get it here. If you go to the top, so you see there's the blue lines on the first row. It is the first row. So for I applied a couple pre-filters in this run. I focused on English only. Well, it's not English only. Uploader country only because I don't have access to the language. So this is mostly English, but not completely. And also I filter out all the emoticons focused on ASCII. And also I wanted more than 100 messages and longer than 3 characters per message. And also I applied slightly different prompts to generate topics versus summary. The summary one is the one I inherited from Tim. So it's mostly the storyline that he used in Hackathon. For the topic ones, I try to teach the model to return shorter, more concise lines for us. So if you compare those 2 columns, E and F, you can see the model is doing a much better job than 2 days ago. And they're pretty consistent as well. When I compare the left and right, they just phrased things differently. in my opinion, E column will be better for a creator, because creator doesn't care about the long sentences, what's going on. Maybe the creators only want to know what will be the quick checkpoints they should pick up. But for the summary side, if you are catching up with the conversation, yeah, that would be a good place to start.
Yeah, I think like the topic one, maybe like we want to call it like talking point or something like that. Like, because like it could be confused with like the comments topic. That's like they actually have taxonomy, I think. Just a test, just like make sure people are understanding that.
Oh, this is only.
Comments, they first cluster and then they ask you
Yeah,
to summarize.
they
the
have like
cluster.
they have their own taxonomy for the categorization. So it's not free from text generation.
Okay.
What's the term we should call them?
I don't know.